Well, good evening. Funny that you would be here. How are you doing? I'm Rick Dancer. This is Get Real with Rick Dancer, and it is our Elements Healthier Life segment, sponsored by Elements Health Clubs of Lane County, of which there are three: one in Springfield, one in West Eugene, and one at Oakway. And they are awesome people who. Oh, there we go. I got rid of that. Something was trying to get. I got my attention here. And also Dr. Bratland, Chris Dental Family Dentistry, where your vaccination status does not matter. What he wants to make sure is that you are getting the health care that you need, your dental health care taken care of. So Dr. Bratland is one of our sponsors. In fact, let me roll the open, and then we're going to get Kim Stark in here. And we're going to talk a little bit about health.
Who puts up with this? That's what I don't understand.
Bring the lion out. Bring the lion.
Tonight on our show, we're going to have...
Hey guys, don't you think it's kind of fun that you get to comment on the news?
There's a cost. Oh yeah, there's a cost. People come after you.
Like, I think that's why this is so much fun, is because...
We'll see you at 5.
Well, it is good to see you guys. And here's Kim Stark. How you doing, Kimmy?
Hello. Good. How are you? You got your background.
Yeah. Kim noticed, look, you guys, I have a background. My studio office is becoming, look, at least visual. Now, if you look over here, you see all the crap sitting on the...
We don't look over there.
Yeah, that's the part of the office that you aren't supposed to see as a viewer. You don't get to see that because that shows off that I'm still unorganized. I was telling Kim earlier, there's 4 boxes left to unpack, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. You guys spent all weekend doing that, probably.
Yeah, and then the weekend before that too is like getting stuff out. So it's been crazy. So Elements is sponsoring our show tonight along with Dr. Michael Bratland, and Chris Dental.
Chris Dental, yeah.
Has been one of those days. So Kim, I read a statistic today, and I already warned you, so people will know that I've warned you. I heard this on a podcast, and then I looked it up in the Journal of American Medical Association, that young men 18 to 24 are having less sex this year than they did last year. And women, it was 15%, and it went up. This is people not having sex. It went up from 15% weren't having sex, now 19% aren't having sex.
90% of women. Okay. Same age range.
Okay, listen to this one. For men, it was 19% weren't having sex. And now last year, 31% weren't having sex.
That's a big jump.
It's huge. And I think they attributed a lot of it to, they said it wasn't, people aren't getting more moral. And unfortunately, that's not
Yeah. Don't get our hopes up.
Nothing to do with morality. They said some of it was COVID. Some of it they thought was also pornography, the increase in pornography and how you can get it on the web and everything. And I think the problem with that they were talking about in this article was that then you've got young men not even trying to have relationships because they're just getting it from pornography and stuff. And that's just...
I wonder if some of that too is that I've read that some younger people are more hesitant to want to start a family as well. So there might be that fear too, more than there used to be, where a lot of kids are choosing not to have babies.
Right. Yeah. Well, but you and Bob, you guys had your kids pretty late in life.
We were pretty late, and some of our friends we're all the old parents. So, but now with things changing with COVID and things, I think people are just more fearful, and like they hear things about the economy or things like that. And people in their 20s and 30s they're saying it could be a problem if people really choose to not have kids and not reproduce.
Right. I mean, I have family members that I don't know what they're going to do. And my kids... And
you don't know if you're going to be a grandpa.
And then other family members are like, oh yeah, they already decided not to. And you're like, oh, that's kind of, but just a kind of an interesting fact out there. So I'm sitting in the sauna today, and these two guys are talking about the things we've been talking about. Is how do you get, after COVID and after being away from exercise for so long, how do you get motivated to do this? And one guy was saying, he had a workout partner, and the workout partner moved, And he said, I couldn't
Oh.
get motivated to go do that and stuff. So,
Yep.
and I think a lot of it for people is there's, one with gas prices. Some
Mhm.
people like you and me, I got to drive
Mhm.
30 minutes to the gym, and
Yep.
it's taken a huge toll on your bank account.
Yep. Yep. I know. That's why we're at home usually working out anymore. We don't get to go to the gym as much as we used to because it's just more convenient to be home. And then you don't have your camaraderie. And if you're one who doesn't like to work out very much, you're not going to have that motivation.
Well, I checked in with Sarah, and she gave us some tips on things
Okay.
that you can do on those days when you can't get in. And of course, it's always better to go in because you got people that can keep you accountable. And because if I was
Right,
to do
right,
it at home,
yeah.
I'd be here going, oh yeah, that counts as a sit up,
Working so
But
hard. Yeah, exactly. Mhm.
listen to Sarah's tips.
Talk really quickly about finding inspiration from home or on the road or wherever you may be. Honestly, it's not always practical for people to show up to a gym. Whether they're traveling, working from home, have sick kids at home, there's a lot of different reasons. Maybe you don't have a gym membership, but there are so many tools and resources online if you just look for it. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, type in WOD, which stands for workout of the day, or 10-minute abs, or a resistance band workout. So many different things. You can type in my name, Sarah Keepers, on YouTube and find some old workouts that I have posted that are fun to do online. Regardless of what it is, you can either find an excuse or you can find inspiration to do movement and be active from wherever you are.
Love that girl. So Sarah works at Elements Health Club in Springfield, and she works for the company.
It's true.
But Kathy does the Nike one. They have a little app on your phone, and even when she goes to the
They have a nice app too. And yep.
even when she goes to the regular gym, she's back doing. And I've seen lots of women doing that. They'll have their phones. And I saw a lady bring
Yes.
a laptop and sit over in the corner and doing her workout like at the gym with her
Yes.
laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because then you have the facility to do it, and you have the space, and you have the equipment there, and then you can watch the video and do it there. I've done that too. Yeah, there's no
So
excuse now. It's so easy to find stuff online.
So what were you planning to talk about? As I just kind of hoarded the conversation there.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, we're still in that same general topic. I was going to talk about, and we should ask this. This isn't. I have another question for the night, but those of you who are watching right now, if you wanted to guess, there is a certain time of day that's better for women and men to exercise. So there's a certain time of day that's better for women and a certain time for men. I wonder if anyone can guess what it would be like. Guess, I don't know, women, is it evening or mornings, and men, is it evening or mornings where it's better to exercise? There's a time of day. This is a small study they did with a few people, but they found that, it does depend on when in the day you work out. And the reason has to do with your metabolism and then where you kind of carry your fat. Women and men carry fat differently. So it actually matters what time of day you work out. I'm interested to see if anyone can guess on this, and then I won't give it away yet.
Okay, so let's make that our question.
Okay, let's make it our question. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the
because
question.
this is just a small study that they were doing.
So if you guys, whoever guesses that right, will get a free month
We'll
membership.
get a free 30-day 1 month membership at Elements. And if you're already a member there and you guys know this, you can still guess because you can still get your month paid for. So it's an awesome win-win at Elements Health Clubs.
Now, do you want to know a specific time? Okay, so Lori says women in the
morning.
morning.
Well, you can say morning or evening. Lori's guess is women in the morning. Okay.
Okay, you know what we should do? I don't think Brian will care at Elements. Let's give 2 away. So we'll get 1
Yeah,
for
that's
men,
true, because I did
for
say
women.
women.
Okay, so they're
Okay,
coming on.
Brian won't care.
I'm going to let you, while you're looking at those, let's bring on our other ad here.
And more than a workout.
Okay.
You get results-driven fitness and nutrition help no matter where you're starting in your health journey. You get luxury club benefits like a heated pool, hot tub, sauna, steam room, and wellness centers. You get academy-level group training classes like HIIT, boxing, TRX, and barbell strength. And your kids get childcare centered around movement with activity and a purpose. You get 3 convenient locations with 1 membership. All the amenities of a luxury health club with the membership prices of a neighborhood gym. Elements Health Clubs, we are more than a workout.
Okay, Brian says men before breakfast to get the metabolism going.
Okay. So yes, there is, I'm not going to give the answer, but yes, differences in hormones they found. and our biological clocks and things play a role. And this study was just done with 30 men and 26 women. So obviously this is a small study, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think it's interesting to find they did all active and healthy people between 25 and 55 years old. That was the age range. And they did a 12-week study, and they kind of monitored them and saw, like, with sprint training, endurance training. And then one group exercised an hour before 8:30 in the morning, which is you. And then another group exercised in the afternoon. It was like, I want to say like 7 p.m., somewhere in there, even the evening. And you know what's hard for me, what's always been hard for me in the evening workouts, is that you're hungry, you want to have dinner. And then if you go, you're hungry, so you don't want to go work out, but then you don't want to work out after you eat. So it's always been easier for me to do morning. That's just my thing. I can focus it around my eating. And also it's nice to have it done in the morning, but some people feel like they have more energy at night, which I would agree with that too. I feel like I can work out harder sometimes later in the afternoon.
But see, for me,
but you guys always do morning.
Right. Because we need to wait at night. Somebody's going to call up and say, hey, Rick, you want to go have a beer? And I'm going to go,
yeah, exactly.
Beer sounds way better.
I know.
Or a meeting comes up, or somebody wants to meet. To me, the morning gets it out. So, but what's best for your body then? Has anybody guessed it right?
Okay, so Lori was right about the women. Women, they say it's better for women to exercise in the morning. They burn more body fat during the morning exercise, and women tend to carry their fat more in their belly area, which I thought men did too. But anyway, according to this study.
I think men carry it more.
I know, I did too, from what I've experienced. But it says abdominal fat, it wraps around those organs and stuff. And so based on the results, women interested in reducing that fat, which women do always want to, of course, reduce that fat, aim to exercise in the morning. And then men were less sensitive to the time of day. But overall, men who worked out later in the afternoon saw better results.
Really?
And I said that women may burn more body fat. This is, again, just one study, so they don't really know why. But they say women may burn more body fat in the morning because they are more likely to have excess belly fat, which I just said, which you and I are both like, really? And the body's internal rhythms might play a role with our internal rhythms. So they're, again, not sure why this is. But I mean, I will say, after having kids, and then, you know, all of us who have kids, and it does happen after having kids that we do experience that belly fat issue. So I guess I can see that part. But as far as men are the ones who think
don't you think women are much more concerned with ass fat?
Yeah, I know, the butts, the booties, right? I know. I don't know. I mean, apparently.
Brian says. Brian thought it was morning, but he said, I do feel I have better workouts in the afternoon than in the morning. See, I never work out in the afternoon, so I don't know, but that is super interesting.
Yes. And, you know, I do remember, so I'd always have some men in my morning classes, of course, or those morning people like you, but there were more males at the gym in the afternoon and evening. I do remember that in classes. Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of people.
And so I don't know if that's,
I think a lot of guys get off at 4 o'clock and come in there and do that, 5 to 6:30 or something, and they go home. But like you, I'm the same way. It's like, and for me, like when I have worked out in the afternoon, then I'm so up, I go home and I can't sleep.
Wide awake.
Right? But it's probably just getting used to it. Well, that is very interesting.
You get into your routine. And then it's supposed to make you sleep better too, right? So who knows? It could be, So I thought that was kind of an interesting little study that popped up on my LinkedIn. So I thought we'd talk about that today. And we'll have Sarah weigh in too. We'll ask her about it.
Okay, so here's something for us. It has nothing to do with health. I'm pretty sure you're seeing the gas price. I spent $164 today on diesel.
Yep. Wow. And California is like double what we are too. I can't even imagine. So bad.
I saw a California town. Hey, you guys, write how much gas prices are the last place you filled up and where you are. I'd love to see that, like where you filled up, not the place, but the town, and how much gas prices were. Here, Kathy went and filled my truck up last night, just because she was going to go to town. And this morning it was up like I think 10 cents a gallon. Like went up, like overnight, it went up 10 cents.
But you guys don't have as high of prices there, right?
No, ours is $4.69 right now. What's yours there?
But I have $5.16, something like that. I haven't gotten gas in a couple of days.
Town, and I can't remember where it was. It was online, and they said they were inching close to $10 a gallon.
Yeah, that's what I heard in California. And some places, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm curious to
Oh,
see what
I
other
saw
people.
Jeff Merkley put out something today,
Oh.
blaming the big oil companies because he's one of the lawmakers. That's the problem that's making this happen. But they're blaming it, and this is the you know the more liberal point of view is
Right.
it's Putin's fault in the war, which that could be some of it, but then they say it's the oil companies gouging people. But they never bring up the fact that Biden has limited any other kind of energy or oil exploration. He killed the pipeline. We were, before we were energy independent, and now we are energy dependent.
Yes.
What the hell do you think, Mr. Merkley?
I don't hear that talked about very much.
Okay, so here they're coming in.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Youngstown, Ohio.
Ohio.
Okay,
Oh,
459
Ohio.
Springfield.
459. Okay, so mine was 5 something. And
Salem.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. And we just got off of that. Let's see, Santa Clara.
That's what my cars did.
See, it's over 5.
559. Oh my gosh, where's this?
So Freddy's, wow.
6. And here we go. What's Oregon's prices?
Oregon's prices are lower than most for us. Yeah. Oh, let's hope that lasts.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm guessing that's Utah. Wow.
Yeah.
So you kind of wonder when this is going to either crash or when it's going to end. It's kind of scary.
Right. I think that's what everybody's afraid of right now, is that we know that it's not, it has looked like this for so long now that it's got to. Summer go. Yeah, exactly. And with summer, it's not going to go down in the summer. Yeah.
And I think the saddest thing is it's really hurting the middle class and lower income people.
Right.
How do you get to work and even live your life? And
so you can't buy a house, you can't afford gas. So they're basically wiping out middle class at this point. So it's just going to be like, you're going to have no money, or you're going to have all the money. Yeah, it's kind of scary. All
right, let's hear from Dr. Michael Bratland. And I don't think Bill's talking about that on his newscast today. Oh, wait. California, $9 to $10 a gallon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. How did we start talking about this? Did someone just put the gas price up there?
Somebody put his gas price up, and then I started asking questions about it. It's no shortages in there.
There are no shortages.
I agree, Salt Lakers. It is theater, and unfortunately, we're all paying for that, the production costs of that whole thing.
Right. It's an expensive production.
Right. So I think we did have a winner for was it Lisa?
I think we had Lori Wilcox, guest Women in the Morning. So she gets our 30-day.
Yeah, you'll get a 30-day at either. Are you local?
I hope you live in Eugene. Are you in Eugene or Springfield? Hopefully. Because she said she works out in the mornings. I don't know. She might already have a gym she goes to, but you can still check out Elements. So let us know if you're local. We'll get that to you.
Hang on.
A lot of crowns, and we do really good crowns. And it's funny, a patient asked me the other day, is like, how are you giving such cheap crowns? And I think they think that maybe I'm having like lesser quality. I have really good quality crowns, and we do really good work. And we charge, if you don't have insurance, we charge $998. So let's say you break a tooth and you know you need a crown, you can call us, and that's how much you're paying. We're not gonna charge you all these add-ons. You don't want a crown that breaks. I don't want stuff from China. It's a local lab. They're phenomenal. You're gonna come in the chair. We're not gonna charge you for a limited exam, X-ray, a core build-up, and a crown. We're gonna charge you $998.
Now, to get that $998, you have to mention that you saw it on Rick Dancer's show, because otherwise you won't get it to you. It's one of those things where it has to happen that way. Lori is in Albany.
Oh, so good. Lori,
perfect. You could drive down and check it out and see if you like it. Or if you know what the other thing is, Lori, if you have a friend who's in Eugene and you want to hand it over to them, let us know. And we will.
We can do that.
Make that work. So just give us write me or Kim. I'll put mine in there, Rick Dancer.
Yeah, or you can just drive in like once or twice a week, or try it out for a month. I have a little bit of a drive there too. I get it.
Kim, thank you for being here tonight. I'm going to toss to Bill here, but I know you got family and life and things to do, so I'll let you move on.
We'll move on. Okay.
All right.
See you
All right,
soon.
sweetie. See you later. See you next week. See you Thursday. All right. So let's check in with Bill and find out what the news is, and we'll be back with just a little bit more.
Good evening from the News Radio, 1120 AM and 93.7 FM KPNW studios. I'm Bill London, co-host of the Wake Up Call Monday through Friday morning, 6 a.m. to 9 on that fine radio station, streaming at kpnw.com. Oh, look at me self-promoting. Typical media. All right, here's some of the stories we're following. Well, any day now, we could find out if the U.S. Supreme Court is going to allow individual states to more heavily regulate abortions. That follows last month's draft leak of an opinion that would reverse the decades-old ruling on Roe v. Wade. Despite what the decision is, according to Tung Yin, a constitutional law professor at Lewis and Clark College, it would have no effect on Oregon's current laws, which he says are very permissive in terms of the right to choose. He says all this would do is simply say that the Constitution has nothing to say about abortion. Yin says that would leave it open to Congress and individual states to make their own decisions. Currently, Oregon has the most protections for abortion than just about any other state other than Washington. Gasoline prices in Oregon are almost $3 a gallon higher from 2 years and $2 higher than a year ago, and diesel fuel is now just about ready to hit $6 a gallon statewide. Oh, lucky us. That's according to the latest figures from GasBuddy and AAA's Fuel Gauge report. Oregon's gas prices averaged $2.40 a gallon in June of 2020 and $3.38 per gallon a year ago. On Monday, AAA pegged the average price of gas in Oregon at $5.42 a gallon, another record high in a string of record highs. Oregon State University has announced Dr. Jathai Murthy as its next president. Dr. Murthy will become OSU's 16th president on September 9th. Oregon State's Board of Trustees voted unanimously today to approve Murthy's appointment and a 5-year employment agreement. Oh, it wouldn't be a newscast on Getting Real with Rick Dancer if we didn't talk about Clackamas County elections, because yet again, here they are. Now, they're saying they will not update election results again until June 13th. And that leaves a hotly contested House district race to represent Lake Oswego and portions of southwest Portland hanging for at least another week. County Clerk Sherry, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help Hall, said that she would wait until the statutory deadline for providing final results before releasing any other public updates because of, quote, confidentiality concerns due to the small number of ballots left to count. I thought that all of the ballots were supposed to be confidential. Are they going to release their names? Okay, Bob Smith, I'm going to count your vote, Mr. Democrat. Anyway, that means the winner for the Democratic primary for House District 32 between Lake Oswego City Councilor Daniel Nguyen and school board member Neelam Gupta won't know whether they're going to need a recount. Likely they will, because at last count, at least that was released, assuming it was correct, which we know maybe it wasn't, was just 14 votes between the two, with about 2% of votes left to be counted. Now, automatically, if there is a finish within 0.2 percentage points between two candidates, there is an automatic recount, but we don't know when that'll happen. According to the Secretary of State's office and a spokesman for Shemia Fagan, Ben Morris, he said, well, it's up to Hall to decide when the county would provide election updates with a few thousand votes left to tally. He claims that they remain on track to finish by the certification deadline, which he says is the secretary's primary concern. Well, we can believe it if Sherry Hall says it because she's been so accurate so far. Do I sound bitter all of a sudden? I don't know. I don't sound objective, though, do I? Sorry. Out-of-state or out of stock rates for formula recently topped 85% in Oregon as communities and public agencies look for help. But amid the ongoing formula shortage, there has been a bright spot, and that is mothers in Oregon have been stepping up in record numbers to donate breast milk, helping ensure that regional reserves remain at least somewhat available to feed babies. That, according to Leslie Mondeau, who is the director of the nonprofit Northwest Mothers Milk Bank. The shutdown of Abbott Nutrition's Michigan baby formula plant in February triggered the nationwide shortage after bacterial contamination concerns at the facility prompted a recall of the most used formulas in the country. As the only milk bank in the Northwest, Mondeau's organization works to supply donated breast milk to mothers in need all across Oregon, Washington, Alaska, and Idaho. And the milk bank prioritizes the most vulnerable newborns to receive donations, actually requiring a doctor's prescription because donated breast milk is such a limited resource. One of the biggest populations the milk bank serves is actually families with babies born prematurely and hospitals. Actually, that roughly accounts for about 75% of what it supplies. But according to Mondeau, calls from mothers interested in donating milk have increased 300%. She said that the milk bank is screening about 2 times as many potential donors compared to this time last year. And according to Mondeau, and I think this is true, milk donors are heroes. By the way, if you're interested in learning how to donate milk or receive donated breast milk, you can contact donatemilk.org. And finally, from Oregon Health Sciences University, they say there is surprisingly thin evidence to back the effectiveness of cannabis-related products to treat chronic pain. That, according to researchers at Oregon Health and Science University, who recently reviewed scientific data on the topic. Now, they said their research found that cannabis products can cause short-term reductions in chronic pain, but little else. Marion McDonough, a doctor of pharmacy at OHSU, says researchers looked at THC and also CBD products. They found evidence indicating 2 FDA-approved synthetic products, dronabinol and nabilone, which are made of 100% THC, are both effective as short-term treatments for neuropathic pain, easy for me to say, caused by damaged peripheral nerves. That includes diabetic neuropathy, which results in burning and tingling. Although effective, she says the research shows it causes side effects such as sedation and dizziness, which is also scientifically known as being baked. Another product made of equal parts THC and CBD, known as Nabaximols, proved effective at providing some benefit for neuropathic pain. The product is not available in the U.S., though, and it also led to side effects like nausea, sedation, and dizziness, also known as being wasted. Dr. McDonough says the limited amount of evidence about the effectiveness of cannabis products surprised researchers at OHSU. She said, "We saw only a small group of observational studies on cannabis products that would be easily available in states that allow it, and these were not designed to answer the important questions on treating pain." Well, here's the caveat. She also admits the limited available information or evidence on cannabis products could be due in part to the fact that marijuana is still a Schedule I drug, technically at the federal level still illegal. That classification means the DEA can limit its supply and make it much more difficult to research. That limits researchers' ability to actually study the drug for medicinal value. All right, there's a look at the news. And yes, by the way, that is a scientific term, baked. All right, Rick, get real.
All right, thanks, Bill. So Dr. Bratland took out an ad put an ad on my page out to on the Joe Rogan and his billboard on Joe Rogan and Elon Musk, the freedom and their freedom fighters. And oh my, am I getting some emails? It comes on my page. We push it out on my stuff. It's Dr. Bratland's and stuff. It's just you'll see it. It's on there online. I'm going to leave you with one thing. I posted this earlier, but this is for people on the show. He said, "Make it real." Well, let's make it real. You know, I remember when I was 10 years old, I used to raise rabbits, and I had a lot of rabbits, like 50. And one summer they started getting sick, and rabbits were dying like you would not believe. And I'm 10 years old, and first time I'm really dealing with death. I mean, I'd had a grandma die and stuff like that, but I mean, with death of my own. I'm picking up these rabbits and they're stiff, and I don't know why, because I didn't know that animals got stiff when they died and people. So I'm learning all these things, and I'm burying the rabbits and burying the rabbits and burying rabbits in my backyard. I remember I went to my mother and I said, "Mom," and I'm crying, and I just said, "I can't bury any more rabbits." And I remember my mom looked at me and she said, "Ricky, I can't bury your bunnies for you." And I didn't understand what that meant then. It was probably when I was in my 30s in therapy, and my therapist was talking to me, and it came up. And I remembered that moment with my mom standing on the deck of the house, looking down at me, burying these rabbits, these bunnies. And she had a tear in her eye, and she was watching, because it was probably even harder on her to allow me to deal with my shit than it was for her to just do it herself. And when I was in therapy, I had a picture, I feel like it was from God. And I saw God standing on that deck with my mother, with tears coming down his eyes, and me saying to him, "I can't do this anymore." And him looking at me and saying, "Rick, I can't bury your bunnies." So I don't know what that means to you, but I think we all have bunnies that we need to bury. And sometimes they're easy things, and sometimes they're not so easy. And we always are looking for help. And it's good for people to talk to us, but sometimes it's just something you have to do on your own. And other people can't help you bury your past. You have to do it yourself. So for whatever that means, take it with you. Share this on your page. Let other people see what we do. Let other people see the information we put out there. And tomorrow night, we have a special interview with a gentleman named Andy Pollock. And his daughter was killed in a school shooting a few years ago in Florida. He's written a book. He's a national speaker, and he's agreed to come on and talk with us about why he thinks, as a father of a daughter who was killed by a gunman, that this is nothing to do with guns and everything to do with us. And he's researched it and found solutions to the problem that he'll offer to us tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night right here, Pacific time, 5 o'clock, Mountain time, 6 o'clock. I'm Rick Dancer. This is Get Real with Rick Dancer. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening and a